All right, I wanted to talk to you today about the maintenance on a Rogue Ohio bar. This is our Rogue Ohio bar here. And as you can see, this one definitely needs some maintenance. I will show you the one that I just recently cleaned and lubricated this end. You can see how well it spins. This is the end down here that I have not cleaned and lubricated yet. And it barely goes around 2 times before it stops. So let's take a look at that. All right, so the only tool that you'll need is a good pair of snap ring pliers. Don't waste any money on those stupid universal ones that have the interchangeable heads on them, because they're garbage, and I tried and cussed a lot trying to do with that. So get you a good set of snap ring pliers. These all 4 were on Amazon for, I want to say, 28 bucks. It's a good kit called Tool League. These are the 9-inch ones. There's a 7-inch set that might be a little bit cheaper, but I like the 90-degree ones that make it really easy to get into the snap ring without getting your hand in the way to where you can't see in the end. So these are really good. You'll also need some 3-in-1 oil. I'm gonna use tape and a Sharpie to mark it, and I'll just put a little piece of tape in the end so I can keep track of when the last time I maintained this bar was. And you're gonna need yourself some clean rags, and that's it. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is remove this first O-ring here. And I'm gonna see if I can do it with one hand. So you use your O-ring tool, get it in those 2 little slots. And you're gonna push them together, and you're gonna pull it out, just like that. Okay. And then this little cover should come out. Just scratched it, great. Yeah, that paint is not very good. As you can see how beat up it is already. This bar is only about a year old. So Rogue needs to fix that, how easy that chips. Be right back. All right, so I got that out. I just had to wiggle its end a little bit like that, and it kind of fell into my hand. So that's the end cap. It just covers up the inside. You'll notice that as I'm putting them here on my box, I'm going to lay them in order the pieces came out, because there's several more pieces to come out of here, and you want them to go back in the exact same way. So as I remove each one, I'm gonna lay it on the edge of my box in the order that I took it out, and then I can put it back in the reverse order. So the next piece to come out is gonna be that O-ring right there. You can see it there, and then there's several pieces that will come out right behind it. All right, so I took out that second snap ring. I know I probably called that an O-ring a couple of times. It's not an O-ring, it's a snap ring. Anyway, so I took out the second snap ring, and now what I can do is I can take this whole collar and I can slide it that way. Careful, because some of this stuff might fall out of here. But the first thing that you have in here is a washer. Yep, and see, something just fell off. So I know the washer goes first. So I'm gonna put that down there in order. And then there's 2 half washers. One of them just fell out. It's right here. Oop, there it is. And you can see it fits into this groove right here that helps lock it in. I'll give you a close-up of it. The other one just fell out, but these 2 half washers fit right into that groove, which is important to remember. So I'm gonna put the 2 half washers right there. Next one comes off is another spacer. And then sometimes there's a shim in there, in between that spacer and the half washers. This one does not appear to have one. The other side actually had a shim, which is interesting. So I'm surprised there's not one in here. But now that we've got all those out, this whole piece will just slide off in my hand. Okay, so now we just have that barbell shaft, and we have this very heavy end. You can see it's quite dirty in there. That's the brass bushing inside there in both ends. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna clean this part of it with a clean cloth, and we're gonna clean the inside, and I'll show you a really cool trick on how to do that. So this part I'm just going to wipe dry. If it's really dirty, you can apply a little bit of clean oil and then wipe it again. This one's not too bad. So I'm literally just wiping all of the old oil off and any kind of dirt or anything that's got in there. You can see it's a whole lot cleaner now. That is normal to have some wear here where the coating's worn off. What you don't want to see is any like really bad pitting or anything, but it's normal to have that there. That's where a lot of your impact is absorbed when people drop these bars. So that's clean. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stuff this rag down into this end of the hole. See, it's the part where that wider spacer is. And I'm just gonna shove this rag down in there with my thumb, right? And then to get it out through the other side, I'm just gonna slide it on the bar. And I might have to slam it a couple times, and then I can just pull it out this end. You see how dirty that it was inside there. And I might run it through a couple more times just to get all that dirt out of there, and that'll clean it out really well. All right, so now that I have everything all cleaned up, I'm gonna put a really thin coat of 3-in-1 oil on there. Just a really thin bead. And I'm just gonna rub it in with my hand. If you wanna wear gloves and do this, you can. But I'm just rubbing it in by hand. Again, it's a really light coat. Don't put a whole lot, because if you put a whole lot, then that's just gonna invite more grit and dirt to stick in there, okay? So now that I've got that oil on there, I can slide this collar back on, and you'll tell right away, as soon as it's on, you can tell right away it's already spinning much better. So then we'll go ahead and assemble back the locking clip. All right, so this is gonna be the toughest part of the reassembly. It's not too bad though. But again, you're gonna put the stuff back on in exactly the same order you took it out. So I'm gonna put this washer in first, right there. I'm gonna see if we can do this all with one hand so I can film it for you guys. And then this is where our 2 half washers are gonna go in. So I'll put one on top there, and I'll put one on the bottom, and then we're gonna have to pull this sleeve out. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can slide them to the sides. Nope, that's not gonna work. Basically, so we're gonna put one on each side, and then we're gonna slide the whole thing forward like that. But I have to put that bottom piece in that just fell out, so I'm gonna have to do that off camera real quick. All right, sorry I needed both hands for that. But anyway, so I have both of those half washers in there, and they're into the groove in that black part of the bar. And then I slid the whole thing forward just by grabbing it like this and pushing the thumb in, and the whole thing slides this direction. Okay, so now we put this spacer back in like that. And then there's a little tiny ridge inside there. You can't really see it, but that is for this next piece, which is our snap ring, and that's gonna go in there. So let's see if I can do this with one hand. Appreciate your patience, because this is not easy to film and assemble with one hand. All right, so I'm gonna take my snap ring, I'm gonna slide it right in there. And I got lucky because it slid into the ring the first time. Just make sure that it's seated all the way around. You can kind of use your snap ring pliers and push around to make sure that it's well seated. So then all we have to do is put our cap back on and our O-ring back on, and then I'm gonna mark it with today's month and year so that I know that I can service it again 6 months from now. That's it. It really is that easy. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a good day. Oh, just one more quick note. This is the 15 kg Bella, otherwise known as the female bar. Just wanted to let you know that the procedure is exactly the same for this bar as the other Ohio men's bar. So just wanted you to know it's the exact same procedure.